Good morning and sliding into afternoon, just about 1 minute to spare. So there you go. Well, today we're going to be making a puffy bow, and what I'm going to do is first show you the first one I made and show you a few things that this paper will do, and then I'm going to actually show you how I made the bow. Alright, so it is easy to make, and I can tell you that I already did half the cutting for the bow just while I was on the phone with someone. So that's how I end up cutting some of the stuff for the bow to make the bows. But let's get started and go down those hands so you can see what it takes to make this beautiful bow. And if you like it and everything, please be sure to subscribe and to our YouTube channel and our Facebooks and so forth, and share. And we'd appreciate that. All right, let's go down those hands. So this is what I want to show you because, you know, the holidays upon us. You can still make bows. Bows are very pretty, and you can see I've got this bow here, which is actually a finished bow, and I'm going to be making a belly band, which will wrap around this box, and I'll have a gift inside. But it's perfect. You can make this bow. It doesn't have to be Christmas. We just happen to be at Christmas time, all right? I just wanted to show you, first of all, what my first bow looked like, and sort of explain it a little bit to you so you see the difference. So here's the first bow that I did. Let's see if I can get you a closer look. And you can see it's different. You can say, well, it's not too bad, and it's not. And I'm going to still work with it because, you know what? When things don't come out the way I want them to, I look at for an opportunity for creativity. So I'll mess with it, and I'll show you some things I did versus when I did this one right here. So one of the things to know is that when I first started off doing this here was a 1/4 of an inch. All right, and so when you go to sit there and make this into a bow and roll it, it's wanting to go that thick. Okay, so then as I progressed, I set up there and I actually did mine in 6-inch strips. So when I cut my paper, I cut it at 3.5 inches, and I did it at 6 inches because I wanted to see how it was going to go. So what I did then is I went from 1/4 of an inch to a little bit smaller. So let me just double check my measurements here with this first one because it might have been a little bit more. So yeah, so see, so actually it's right. It's maybe a smidgen more than 1/4 of an inch. And all I did was took that in half, and I just halved it down. So you'll see where this is 1/4 of an inch, and you can see where I came back here in the back, and it's slimmer. And that is because when I was doing this, I had this, it looked like a star. It looked like I had a star. So I sat there and I had to move things around and so forth and so on. But one of the things I did like about this here that I discovered is you can actually take this cotton paper. So this is actually cotton paper, and it's got a wax, I don't know if it's a waxy, but you can see it's got a sheen on it. Okay, so this isn't like flimsy tissue paper. This is cotton paper. And one of the things, because you know right now, if I had tissue paper, I could poke my finger through it and tear it real easy, and that doesn't happen. But what you can do with this paper is you can take your scissors, slightly cross it, and looky there, it'll curl. Or if you just want to do a slight bend like that, looky there. So that's all you have to do. So what I did, and playing around with this and messing around with it, I just want to see what it did. That's what this is here. I actually took these loops and cut them in half, and I just ran my scissors just a little bit underneath them. And see how that curled? See how they curled when I did that? So I'm going to most try to come back and finish this, and most try to come and cut some more of this just to give it a different look than what we're going to do. But I want to at least show that to you, because that's one of the nice things about this. I've already made some nice little curlies that I can put on the bow here. I mean, I just showed you the box I was going to make a belly band for and put this bow on. And I'll make some of these to go with it too. But I just wanted to show you that because that's how nice this paper is. So one of the things is I got ahead of myself because I was visiting someone on the phone, and I cut the paper in advance. I already started going without paying attention. I was just too busy in the do mode, sort of like cutting paper dolls. So all I'm doing on here is I'm going to cut as I came across here. I went to 3.5 inches, and then I just make sure it was straight. All right, I'm putting that out of the way, and I cut it. Alright, see how easy that cuts? And again, you can see the sheen on this side. So this is the back side, and this is going to be the front side. And that's the part that we're going to see that you saw in the bow. And then for me, I'm a person that's got 2 left feet. I trip over the stump that nobody else sees. So I find for me it was more flexible and easier, and I could adjust if I wanted to by just using 6 inches. If you're a person that can do the 12 inches, go for it. I cannot. I will show you why as I go to make this bow, why I have to have something different. And you may too. The other thing is that we are going to put tear and tape on each end. I'm not going to do this one right now. I just wanted to show you. But you can. I did not do it this way, but you can. Alright? This is 1/4 of an inch. You'll find that when I got down to the last bow, that one you saw, I went to 1/8 of an inch. Now, because if you have this right here, if you have this tear and tape on here, you can literally just come in here and cut your paper flat if you want to at 1/8 inch segments. So you'd be able to stop where the tape is at both ends, and then I'll show you what that looks like. And then you end up with paper. Well, so see, you end up with it like that. You have to line it up and see if I can line. I'll do it at 1/4 of a mark so you can see it a little bit better. So if you're a person that doesn't wants to be able to have it really precise, exactly to the point, and you want to use your paper cutter to do it, see that 1/4 inch, you can do that, because your tape, when you have your tape on here, your tape's going to stop it. Alright, you'll fill it and you'll stop. Same thing at both ends. So you could do it that way. I am not going to do it that way, because I'm a person that I like to do stuff like this when I can do it when I'm on the phone. I can do it when I'm traveling in a car. So what I have done is basically, it's because I got ahead of myself because I was busy just doing beforehand. So you're going to put, I'm just going to go ahead and do this so you can see. So we're going to go ahead, and what you're going to do is that you're going to use tear and tape. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the tear and tape on one side, on one end here, and I'm just going to trim it, and then you're going to flip it over on the opposite side here, okay, and then you're going to sit up there, and we're going to put it down here also. So one side is for us to be able to fold it in half. So if you sit up there and you just use the cutter to make your 1/4 inch strips there, then this would allow you to do that. You have your stop and starting point, so when you go and use the cutter, you're able to fill that. And then when you go to get through, then all you're going to do is you're going to take this, it almost looks waxy, but it's not waxy, but it sort of reminds you of that. Alright, so you're just going to take the tear and tape off of here. Get that back on there good. Doesn't kind of, the tape's got to stay to the paper. If it's not, then it's just, I might have to press it down harder. That's all you got to do. It'll give finally. Sometimes I don't get the edges. Right there. Okay. Alright, so then all I'm going to do is take this and fold it over in half. And just carefully do it, because the thing is you want this to be puffy, alright? You don't want this to be flat. So that's why you wouldn't do this and put it in the cutter, because this would cause this to be flat. So that's why you'd have to do it open and cut it that way. Alright, and then from here, I'd be ready to curl. So that is how you're getting started with it there. I've already got mine done to save time. So what I chose to do on this one, after I chose, this one is actually at 1/8 of an inch, okay? So for me, to get me started, all I did is I came to my cutter, because it's very tiny, really. Let me not mess up my paper as I'm showing you. So all I did is come over here, here's my half, here's my 1/4, there's my 1/8. And that is not very far. And all I did is I took my scissors to snip it so I get a starting point. Get right about there. Okay. You can't see that at the moment, but I'll show you. I just used it to get started right there. It's pretty skinny. And then all I'm going to do is I personally like to just trim here because I can do this while I'm on the phone. Like I said, I did 2 of these while I was on a phone call. Not even a long phone call, but I actually already cut 2 of these, which is fine because, you know, I'm usually on the phone or taking care of business and I'm on hold. And, you know, that's like, I'm not going to doodle. My doodling is doing something like this. You know, what can I create while I'm sitting there? So that's all I'm doing, alright? And actually I'm going to do, the finished bow that you see here that I did, this puffy bow here, I actually did 4 of these, so they're at 6 inches apart, so 6 inches long, and they're 3.5 inches wide, alright? So that's the height I can get there. Could I go shorter? I could, but you can take a look at that and it's going to be shorter and tight. Could I make it taller? I could. But, you know, you got to think about what are you going to use it on. Now this bow, I already showed you the box I'm going to use it on. And it's the perfect size for the box I'm going to use. And I'll show you again in a minute when we get through making the bow. We're not making the belly band and all for the gift right now. We're just focusing on the bow, okay? Belly band will be another day. Belly bands, you can make belly bands for anything. You just have to make sure the purpose of a belly band is so that you can slide it off easily. So in a lot of particular cases, that saves you from having to use tape and you get something very decorative. Alright, I'm just going to finish this up and I'm going to go ahead and start rolling so you can see, because at least I've already had 2 of these pre-cut that I did, like I said, when I had a phone call a while ago. And then I'll have this, and so at least it'll give us a total of 18 inches in actual paper that I've actually totally cut. But you can see it's real thin, it's not really that hard. If it's one of those things, if you get off course and you don't do it right, it's okay. I compare it to the same thing when I make bows for a Christmas tree. When I started making bows for my Christmas tree years ago, my friend and neighbor said, Judy, the bows do not have to be perfect and they don't have to be exact. She said, they'll all be perfect and they'll all be beautiful. And she's absolutely right. So it's the same with this. If it has to be perfect, if you think somebody's going to get something out and measure it, all right, you go for it. If somebody gets out something and starts measuring it and showing it to me, I'm going to have them have a seat and I'm going to have them sit down and make a bow and show me how to make a bow. So that's how I would do that. Alright, so let me get it in. It doesn't matter which end. We're just going to get it in because this is the beginning of the bow and we're going to roll it, okay? So that's the nice thing about this. And for me, I sit there and I just started rolling it like right here. So it's the key to it is just get it going to begin with. And actually I was even tempted earlier. I couldn't find anything skinny enough, but if I could have, I would have got some kind of pencil or something, but I just didn't have one skinny enough. And you just started rolling, okay? And part of it is just getting that first part going and keeping it, you know, on. So you want to be sure to keep it right here as you roll it. And for me, that became a challenge. I wasn't consistent with that. So what I did, and I'm sure it'll happen here, let me just keep on rolling it and we'll see if it happens, and if so, I'll show you how I handled it. Now, most probably going a little bit slower, I don't know. So lots of times it has to do with lighting, especially when I'm working with dark on dark. And so actually what happened is I started getting things off course. And you know, it's one of those things that's very forgiving. All I did was cut the paper and got it back on course, right? So it's like nobody knows except me, the scissors, and whichever angels are watching over me. You know, nobody else knows that what I've done. They can look and maybe make some guesses, but I mean, they don't for sure know if I cut here, because guess what? It's not going to show. And the other thing is this tape is very forgiving in the aspect as I can actually pull it off. That's because I'm not really squishing it really tight or anything. I'm just rolling it. Because I'm just rolling it, it's not really tight. So I'm just going to pull this out of the way, and hopefully you can see this. And you can see how I'm still staying on that straight line. And I'm just rolling it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just rolling. And we'll see how it looks when I get through the 6 inches and see if I need to make any adjustments. Now see, now when I did the first one, okay, see I got a little bit off track, but not too bad. I can get back on. And sometimes I found it, you just have to find what's easiest for you. Sometimes I find just if I can just roll it, just the edge, you know, itself, just so to help keep me on that edge. See how I can do the edge there? So if I can stay on the edge and just at least get the corner of it there on the edge, I can usually get the rest of it. Alright? Now the thing is, nobody's going to know my paper ended right here by the time you get through blending all this together. Because I will make sure the paper takes right off right where I left off. Okay? So see, that's what I've got so far. That's what it looks like on this paper. That's what it looks like on this end, but if I flip it over, you see how it's shaping up on this end. Now on my other one, I'll show you here. I sort of did this, not this one, the other one, this one here. This one here, I sort of just squished it so I could see what it was going to look like. Give me an idea how it was shaping up. And I did the same thing on the other way. I just squished it the other way just to see how it was shaping up. Alright, so there's flexibility there. I just squished it on the bottom here, that's all I did. Okay, so it sort of gives you an idea. So if I wanted to see, if I did it right now, there's not a whole lot going on there yet, right? And that's okay. I still want it round. And I can easily take my scissors and poke it in here and make sure it's round again, or whatever I want to do. Alright, so you can see that is just 6 inches. So we're going to go ahead and put another 6 inches on here. Let's see where I ended. After I got through squishing it around, I might have a problem just finding where I ended it. And the world wouldn't end either. Okay, so right here is where I ended it. Alright, so that's where we're going to pick up. So you just have to make sure your paper's turned the right way. Earlier I had my paper upside down. I don't know what it was. I was having a moment, that's for sure. Okay. So we're just going to get this and then we'll continue rolling. Alright? It's one of those things that once you get going and get your rhythm of what's easiest for you, it's easy to do. So, but you know what? We're getting closer and closer to Christmas. Whoop, whoop. And that's for me. What am I going to go out here and make dozens of these? No. Okay, so I got it off there, but I need to start. See, I need to continue here. So I'm actually going to be rolling this way, so I really need this end down here. So am I going to make a bunch of these? No. Am I going to make a handful of them? Most probably, because they're not that hard to make. It's something I can easily do. This particular paper with Eden came in 2 colors. It comes in this color, and it comes in this soft saffron color right here. So either or, I have a couple of packages that I can easily put this on. I'm finding my edge again. There it is right there. So, you know, that would be easy to do. And I don't mind doing that. I'm just not going to crank out. If everybody's expecting getting a Christmas present from Nana, Mom, AK, friend, it's like, not happening. If you happen to be one of the people that get one, consider yourself very lucky. Very lucky. So we're just gonna keep on rolling. Keep on rolling. I'm just doing it 6 inch increments, and you can see how it's gonna keep on. And I can just keep on rolling here. I keep this out of the way so that I can sit there, number 1, see what I'm doing, number 2, not having my fingers in the way. And as you can see, okay, now see how it's gotten off course right there and I'm having trouble getting it back on? Then all I do is I come in and snip. Alright, so the only one that saw it was you watching the video. If you didn't watch the video and watch it, you know, to this point in time, you're not going to know I did that. So, there you go. You know what? And sometimes I have to do it more than one time, and that's okay too. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my bow, because it is important. Now I have to tell you, it is important that you keep it down here, because if you don't get it back on track, then that's going to carry over through the other ones as you continue on adding. But again, like I said, nobody's going to see this down at the bottom because this bow is going to be attached to the gift. Okay, let's see if I can get that back on track. All right, okay. It looks like I bent some of those down. All right, so you can see how this is starting to fill up. So, yeah, let's compare. So here's where I am now, and here's where I am here. So this is just 2 6-inch strips, or you can say 12 inches, whichever way you want to do it. So you can see just by adding 2 more of these, I can get a very, very full bow, and it's perfect. Okay, let's go back to the box. You got to think about what you're doing. So this is perfect for this size box. If I was going to make a larger box, have a larger box, and I would most try, instead of doing 3.5 inches, I would go to 4 inches. So if I was going to go smaller, then I'd make a smaller amount. So that's the other thing you got to keep in mind. So we're just going to finish this through. Now see, just by talking to you, doing that, I sort of got that off track. But see how I didn't press that down? It's not, it's like really like mash it really hard down, so it's there permanently. I do want it to be there permanently, but at the moment, while I'm creating it, I don't have to have it permanently there. All right. So let's see what it's going to look like when I put just another 6 inches here. This will be a total of 18 inches. Let me make sure I'm getting this on the right end. Yes, I am. Okay. I am. I'm telling you. I'm the person with 2 left feet. And then I have an opportunity for creativity. But you know, it's up to you. I can do it both ways. I can put it down here and roll it, or I can do like I did a minute ago. I can hold it here and roll it. It doesn't matter. Whatever's easiest for you. You know, it's all about creating, sharing, like we're doing right now. We're sharing how I made it. And then it's about giving. You know, I'm going to put it on somebody's gift box, present, and that's what it's all about. So we just want to keep in mind that's what it's all about, and have fun. All right, if you're not having fun, don't do it. Okay, so if I wasn't having fun right now with this, I would say, you know what, we're going to call this quits and we'll try another day. But you know what, this is fine for me. It's very relaxing. It does take me to focus though, because that little line, keeping it straight on the line. So that's going to be different for every one of us. But you know what, if you're out there and all, I always appreciate if you say hello, hi, or whatever. I tell you, we did a drawing for the month of November for people that said hello and everything and all. And I know her last name's Staggy. I'm trying to think if it was Jessica, or I think it's Jessica Staggy. Anyway, she won for November when we did the drawing. And we sent out a kit, and actually a kit that you can put together. All right. So looky here, this is 18 inches. So see, actually that would most probably go just as well. And I'll put it right here for you can see. See, that wouldn't be so bad either. And that's just 18 inches. Okay, so you can choose whether you want 18 inches or 24 inches. Just depends how full, but you can see as we keep on adding, you can do it. The other reason why I like doing the 6 inches, if I see, like originally when I created, I had this little star effect going on. I had like, it looked like here, 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 and here, and that was it. And I had all these gaps, and I thought, man. So at 6 inches, I could just start it somewhere else to fill that gap so you wouldn't see it. And see, now this is it, and you can't really see the gaps. But originally, I had gaps. So we're going to go ahead, and we still have a little bit more time. And we're going to go ahead and get that. I'm going to stop at 15 minutes. So let's question this. Let's see how quick we can do this. You know, I don't want to cut anything off, but if I did cut something off, I would find a way so you wouldn't know I cut it off. Or it'd be an opportunity for creativity. I'd go see what I could stick in there. Maybe I'd stick a butterfly. I have some adhesive butterflies that are metallic that would look really good. If I had an opportunity for creativity, that I might stick in there. Look like a butterfly landing on the flower. In fact, as I thought about that, I might even do it anyway, just because I can. So there's always things, if you have opportunities for creativity, it's amazing what you come up with, and to cut so that nobody knows you made a mistake. And it comes out lots of times prettier than you even envisioned. Like, I didn't even think about putting a butterfly on here, but that, you know, there's some beautiful gold brushed, I'm not sure they're brushed, they might just be just gold butterflies. They're an adhesive that are coming out with a new catalog, and as a demonstrator we got to go ahead and get that stuff in advance. And you know what, I could see a butterfly being beautifully on this bow. It would go beautiful with the paper that I showed you a while ago that I'll make a belly band with, because it's got gold foil mixed in throughout the paper. And that butterfly would just be like icing on the cake. And I know the person that received the bow would not throw the bow away, or if they didn't want the bow and weren't going to reuse it or give it to somebody, I'd tell them to give it back to me, because I would definitely use it again and give it to somebody, right? Because it's all about creating, sharing, and giving. So we're going to stay focused on that. I mean, don't we do that every year anyway with regular Christmas bows? I know I do. I save all my Christmas bows from last year, and I use them again this year. You know, you just keep on using them until they look like they're not usable anymore. And that's usually, you can usually use a typical bow at least 2 to 3 times usually. Okay, this is the last one here. Okay. Alright, we're going to do the same thing we've already done. We're just going to take this off here. Yep, like I said, if you're out there, please say hello, hi, like, or something. And if you have a question, I always try to keep an eye on the monitor as well too, so that I can answer any questions. Those are always fun too. You know, tell them what you get into. I've been known also, if there's something that you would like me to create or demonstrate. Okay, doesn't really hurt. I think it's just the fact that I got something stuck to me. But if there's something that you would like for me to demonstrate or show, whether it's paper or a technique, I know somebody's requested me to do a technique to show me the difference between the sponge, the blending brush, and there's one other item. Can't think what it is right now. It goes in your finger. But anyway, they wanted me to show, you know, what you would use it for, what you would use the different tools for, and what the differences were. So that'll be coming soon. I'll be doing it. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it live or if I'm just going to do a YouTube video. Problem is, YouTube, until you get so many followers, they don't let you do it live. So that's why we're working on getting that live. Because it is nice when you're live and people are going to ask and you can respond right then and there, but it doesn't matter, we still respond anyway you go. Alright, so there you go. I recreated it and you can see the difference, and you know what, you can fluff it and do anything you want. You just want to be careful not to mash them, because like this, but looky here. So just to show you what I was talking about, so if I mashed it like that, or if I do it the other way and mashed it like that, so it gives you an idea what it looks like, but I just want it round, okay? I just want mine round and puffy. Alright. So there you have it. Let's get back up to the face here. So there you go. We have finished and accomplished our bow, our nice puffy bow. And I hope that you will go out and create, share, and give to somebody and make the bow and everything else. So, but I want to thank you first of all for joining in today. And we'll be back on Friday with Teach Me Nana with a paper pumpkin kit. But be sure to follow us and like us and share, like I said earlier, on YouTube and all of our social media that we're on, especially YouTube. We want to be able to go live on that, so we're trying to get as many followers as we can so we'll be able to go live. All right, so have a blessed day, have a blessed week, and I will see you next Wednesday for Keep It Simple or Step It Up. All right, today was all about simple and showing you how to make a nice, simple, fluffy bow. And next week, you'll just have to wait to see what we're going to do then. All right, have a blessed week. Bye.